Okay, so who wouldn't want to live longer?
Yeah.
Like, imagine a
Yeah.
few extra trips around the sun. What if I told you there might be a simple, scientifically backed way to actually increase your lifespan?
Yeah, and what's interesting is we often get so caught up in like BMI and calorie counting, when we think about longevity.
Right, right.
But emerging research suggests there's a much more impactful factor at play here, and that's muscle mass.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving deep into a study that explores that surprising connection between muscle mass and how long we live.
Exactly.
You can actually find the full article. It's called Muscle Mass, BMI, and Mortality Among Adults in the United States, a population-based cohort study. It's published in the journal PLOS One.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, we at Boost GB don't do the research ourselves. We just summarize it for you.
Yeah, we curate these fascinating findings for you guys.
Right. So this study really kind of flips the script on some of our common assumptions about health and aging.
It really does, and it highlights that power of muscle beyond just aesthetics, right? It's about functionality and, yeah, potentially living longer.
Right. And so much of the time we hear that a healthy BMI is like the key to a longer life.
Oh,
It's the indicator of overall health.
right, and there's this puzzling phenomenon called the obesity paradox. It's got researchers scratching their heads. It's this observation that sometimes being overweight is associated with longer lifespans.
Okay, so wait, explain this to me. If being overweight is generally considered unhealthy, how could it possibly be linked to living longer?
I know, right? It doesn't mean that being overweight is suddenly healthy, but it suggests that BMI alone doesn't tell the whole story.
Right.
You know, there might be other factors at play, and this study suggests that muscle mass could be one of them.
So are they saying that people with normal BMIs might be dying younger because they're losing muscle mass?
That's the question they set out to investigate. Most studies don't really consider the role of muscle mass when they analyze BMI and mortality.
Okay.
This one aimed to find out if muscle mass actually changes the relationship between BMI and lifespan.
Gotcha, gotcha. And how did they go about doing that? I mean, was this a large study?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It involved over 11,000 adults in the US.
Wow.
And what's really cool is they used DEXA scans to measure muscle mass. So you might be more familiar with these scans for bone density. But they also provide a highly accurate measurement of body composition, including muscle mass, using something called the ASMI index.
Okay, so it's not just about how much someone can lift or what their weight is.
Mhm.
They're getting a precise measure of muscle mass using sophisticated technology.
Exactly. This makes the findings even more compelling because they're based on hard data, not just estimates.
Okay, so drum roll, please. What did they find? Does muscle mass actually make a difference when it comes to longevity?
Here's where it gets really interesting. What they found was that across different BMI categories, higher muscle mass was independently associated with a lower risk of death.
Wow.
In other words, regardless of your BMI, more muscle equals a lower risk of death.
Wow, so it's not just about being thin, it's about being strong.
Precisely. Even at the same BMI, individuals with lower muscle mass had higher body fat. They were more likely to have diabetes and had an increased risk of mortality. Yeah, it really highlights the importance of looking beyond just BMI, when you're assessing someone's health and potential longevity.
I'm starting to think of muscle mass as like a secret weapon against aging.
Haha, yeah. That's a great way to put it, It helps your body function better. It's kind of like how a well-maintained engine keeps a car running smoothly.
Right, exactly. So getting back to the obesity paradox, does this study completely debunk it, or is there still more to learn?
That's a great question. I think this study provides a crucial piece of the puzzle,
Yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily solve the entire mystery. There might be other factors at play, besides muscle mass, like genetics, lifestyle factors, or other physiological mechanisms that contribute to the obesity paradox.
Right, so it's definitely an area where more research is needed.
Absolutely. But even with that said, this study provides strong evidence that muscle mass is a key factor in determining longevity.
It's amazing to me that something as simple as building muscle can have such a profound impact on our lifespan.
It really is. It speaks to the incredible adaptability of our bodies and the importance of staying active throughout our lives.
We often think of aging as this inevitable decline, but this study suggests we have more control over our health and longevity than we might realize.
I completely agree. It's a powerful reminder that we're not just passive passengers on this journey. We can actually actively shape our health and well-being.
And building muscle is a key part of that equation.
Exactly. And the great thing is there are so many ways to do it. Find an activity you enjoy, whether it's weightlifting, swimming, dancing, yoga, or something else entirely, and make it a regular part of your routine.
Before this deep dive, I was all about cardio, but now I'm seriously considering adding some weightlifting to my routine.
That's fantastic. And remember, building muscle isn't just about hitting the gym, you know? It can be as simple as incorporating more movement into your daily life. Take the stairs instead of the elevator, carry your groceries instead of using a cart, do some gardening. All of these activities can help build and maintain muscle mass.
I also want to touch on the use of DEXA scans in this study. It seems like a much more accurate way to assess muscle mass than just looking at someone's weight or BMI.
Absolutely. DEXA scans use X-ray technology to measure bone density, body fat, and muscle mass. It's a highly accurate and non-invasive method.
Okay, so they weren't just relying on subjective assessments or asking people how much they could lift. They had concrete data on each participant's muscle mass, which makes the findings even more convincing.
Right. It adds a level of scientific rigor to the study, that strengthens their conclusions.
This research has me thinking about the potential implications for healthcare. Could it change the way we approach health and wellness?
That's a great question. And I think it has the potential to shift the focus from simply treating disease to promoting overall health and well-being.
So instead of just focusing on lowering BMI, maybe doctors will start emphasizing the importance of building muscle.
Exactly. It could lead to a more holistic approach to healthcare that prioritizes strength and functionality as we age.
It'd be amazing to see a shift towards preventative care that empowers people to take control of their health.
I agree. It's all about equipping individuals with the knowledge and tools they need to live longer, healthier lives.
And that brings us to perhaps the most important question.
Mhm.
What can you do with this information?
The takeaway here is clear. Prioritize strength training. Regardless of your age or fitness level, building muscle is one of the best things you can do for your health and longevity.
It's not just about aesthetics. It's about functionality, vitality, and potentially adding years to your life.
Yeah. Strong muscles support every aspect of our lives. They help us move with ease, maintain balance, prevent falls, and reduce the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease.
And as we've learned, muscle mass can even play a role in extending our lifespan.
That's right. You don't need to become a bodybuilder or spend hours in the gym every day. Even moderate strength training a couple of times a week can make a significant difference.
And there are so many ways to incorporate strength training into your routine, whether it's lifting weights, doing body weight exercises, using resistance bands, or even just engaging in activities that challenge your muscles, like gardening or carrying heavy groceries. There's an option for everyone.
Yeah, the key is to find something you enjoy and make it a consistent part of your life. And don't forget about the importance of proper nutrition. Protein is crucial for building and repairing muscle tissue, so make sure you're getting enough in your diet.
You can find protein in a variety of sources like meat, poultry, fish, beans, lentils, and tofu.
Excellent point. So to sum it up, building muscle isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling good and living a longer, healthier life.
Well said. This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on fitness and aging.
Yeah, it's truly fascinating how much control we have over our own health and well-being.
Absolutely. And for our listeners who want to explore this topic further and stay up to date on the latest health and longevity research, we encourage you to sign up for the Boost to Be newsletter.
You'll get a weekly dose of evidence-based information delivered straight to your inbox.
You can find a link to sign up in the show notes. But for now, we've reached the end of our deep dive. It's really amazing, like how one study can completely shift your thinking.
I know, right? It's a good reminder that there's always something new to discover when it comes to health and longevity.
Yeah, this whole deep dive has really highlighted the power we have to actually shape our own health outcomes.
Absolutely. And that's what's so exciting about this research. It gives us actionable steps that we can take to, potentially add years to our lives and improve our quality of life along the way.
Yeah, it's not just about living longer. It's about living better.
Exactly. Imagine having the strength and energy to do the things you love well into your later years. That's what this is all about.
So for our listeners who are ready to embrace this new perspective on aging and start prioritizing muscle mass, what's the best way to get started?
Well, first I would say don't get overwhelmed. You don't need to become a powerlifter overnight.
Right.
Start with something manageable and gradually increase the intensity and frequency of your workouts.
So what are some good options for people who are new to strength training?
Body weight exercises are a great place to start. Things like squats, lunges, push-ups, and planks. You can do them anywhere. They require no equipment.
And those are all excellent exercises that work multiple muscle groups at the same time.
Exactly. And as you get stronger, you can add weights or resistance bands to increase the challenge.
Right, right. It's all about finding a routine that works for you and that you can stick with long term.
Consistency is key. Remember, you're building a foundation for a healthier future.
That's a great point. And of course, nutrition plays a vital role in building muscle. Make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet to support muscle growth and repair.
Yeah, you can find protein in a wide range of foods, including meat, poultry, fish, beans, lentils, tofu, and even some vegetables.
Right. It's all about making informed choices that support your health and fitness goals.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to seek guidance from a qualified fitness professional. They can help you develop a safe and effective workout plan that's tailored to your individual needs and abilities.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's always helpful to have expert advice when you're starting a new fitness program.
So, to wrap things up, I think the message here is clear. Muscle mass matters. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about functionality, vitality, and longevity.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey of discovery, and we hope it's inspired you to prioritize your health and embrace the power of strength training.
And remember, for a weekly dose of fascinating insights like this, be sure to sign up for the Boost GB newsletter. You'll find a link in the show notes.
Until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep striving for a stronger, healthier you.